4 games I picked last week. I ended up going 2-2. So for the year right now, I'm 5-3, above 500. Looking to capitalize on that again this week. Obviously, I picked another 4 games. 4 just seems like a good number to pick every week, so I went with that. So my first game this week. Speaking of Anthony Handy's Falcons, they take on the Lions of Detroit this week. Now, there was a lot of games this week that I looked at and went, man, I don't know if I should touch that. And in the beginning, this was one of them because I thought, man, I think I'm rooting for the Falcons, obviously, because the Lions, again, the Lions are in our division. Wouldn't it be nice if Detroit was 1-2 after this week? And, I was looking at it, and finally I hemmed and hawed, and I finally said, yes, I'm going to go with this game because the Lions are favored by 4 points. They're giving up 4 points. And again, I think I'm believing a little bit in Handy's Falcons, so I'm going to take the Falcons this game plus the 4 points for this week. I'm going to take Falcons plus the 4 points. Now, the next game. Tina, I apologize in advance for this. I hope our friendship is not affected when I tell you what I'm about to tell you. The Broncos are playing the Dolphins. Now, this was just for me, this was one of the easier games I looked at going, I could probably see this happening. The Dolphins are giving up 7 points to the Broncos. Now, I know what some people might say. Well, Denver, but they're 0-2, and they haven't looked great. Russ hasn't got it going, really. I mean, he's had some moments, of course. But the Dolphins, I think, are ready to come back out and, show that the offense they have. I mean, they got, Tyreek Hill didn't have a good game because Christian Gonzalez kind of shut him down for that, But I think this is the week Tyreek Hill decides that he wants to break out for a big game. So I'm going to take the Dolphins minus the 7 points against Tina's Broncos this week. My third game, Bucks-Eagles. Now, to me, this is an interesting game because I think we all know the Bucks are 2-0. However that happened, they beat some team from Chicago last week. And the week before that, they beat some team from Minnesota. So they're 2-0 against the NFC North, which I think I've re-nicknamed the NFC Not because that's not happening for anybody. But in this game, the Eagles are a 6.5 point favorite. They're giving up 6.5. And call me crazy because I am. I actually think the Bucks could maybe keep this a close game. I know the Eagles have a good defense, but the Eagles' defense has been scored on. And as much as people will always say, well, Tom Brady's not there, blah, blah, Baker Mayfield, I've always been a fan of. And whether you like the kid or not, he's been pretty serviceable the last 2 weeks, and his team has won. So it's really hard to argue with the end result when it comes to something like that. So I'm going to go a little off the radar here, but I'm going to take the Bucks with the 6.5 points against the Eagles this week. And for my final game, Rams-Bengals. Now, the Bengals. What in the blue hell is going on there? Well, there's a question mark now about Mr. Joey Burrow possibly playing this week, re-injuring that injury he had in training camp. And the Rams, again, have looked good at times, and not but they have the number one receiver as far as receptions in Puka Nacua, which I like to call Cooper Kupp 2.0. But the Bengals are actually favored in this game, which I thought was interesting. I didn't know how to take that. So I took the Rams plus the 5.5 points that were listed in the thing. So I'm going to take the Rams plus 5.5. So just to recap real quickly, Falcons-Lions, I will take the Falcons plus 4. Broncos-Dolphins, I'll take the Dolphins in -7. Eagles-Bucks, I'll take the Bucks plus 6.5. And Rams-Bengals, I'll take the Rams plus 5.5. So those are Nick's picks for this week. Again, you can follow along. I'll let you know next week again how I did this week and give you my overall record. And then you guys can start making fun of me. So thank you for listening, and I appreciate all of you.